All right, welcome everybody. Welcome Patty, Reba from Alabama, Rebecca from Indiana. How are we all doing tonight? We did have a great holiday. It was very busy, very hectic, but it was really nice. I thought for a minute there we were going to have some technical difficulties, but they seem to have straightened themselves out. Hi everybody, come on in, say hello. Hi Deanne. Hi Tammy. Yes, we had an awesome Christmas. Could have been a smidgen better, but it all worked out. Appreciate it if everybody could sprinkle the glitter for me. Hey Stacy. Stacy, I just have one question for you. This mesh roller is so awesome. You should have sent it. Why didn't you send it to her sooner? Just kidding. Little dad humor. Hi Diana. Welcome. All right. So tonight we are doing a Shamrock. Yes, I said Shamrock, as in St. Patrick's Day. Um, the shops that we are in don't open back up until March. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure if they're going to be open St. Patrick's Day. So I thought it would be great to have a St. Patrick's Day wreath to put in there. Of course, it's a Shamrock wreath. It doesn't say St. Patrick's Day, so you could stretch that a little bit. All right, I got our sign all prepped back here. I guess we take the pink clips off of it. So this is our sign for tonight, and of course we got glare. This is available in our shop if anybody is interested. And to mount it, we cable ties on the back. That big smudge you see down there in the corner, that is the DAP rapid fuse that we use on all of our signs. You know what? I didn't get pipe cleaners out to put the sign on. Oh, please. Oh, this already. There they are. The next room was a mess. Because well, we actually had our Christmas with the grandkids. We actually had it Sunday, the day after Christmas. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Jacqueline. So to get everything, because our house is just, it's not a mess. It's cluttered because there's crafting stuff everywhere. And so we just kind of shoved everything into the two craft rooms right before the grandkids come over. But you all know how that goes. So I hope everybody had an awesome Christmas. I know we did. Keep telling Jeanette we need to move the TV that we watch the comments on from over there over to that side. That way, you won't have to watch me look over at the TV. Well, hi, Teeny. How are you doing? All right, we got our third hand. Got our clothespin. Got to have a clothespin, mandatory. And we're also going to make this a pixie wreath. It's a 8-inch Dollar Tree frame with 10 Chanel stems, 5 on the outside, 5 on the inside. Pretty standard. All right, we're going to switch cameras. And maybe. There we go. We're going to switch cameras and get started. All right. Like I said, I would appreciate if everybody would sprinkle the glitter for me. So for mesh tonight, we're going to use just a green foil and a white border mesh. We're going to be using the woodland ruffle method. Roll that up a couple times, put a clothespin on it. Jeanette is at work, Teeny. She has that bad affliction called a full-time job, and her boss changed her schedule up on her, so here I am. All right, we're going to try this one again. I did not like how that turned up. Redo. Yeah, there was a lady at work. Today was her first day back. She was on COVID leave, so they did not get to do their Christmas on Christmas weekend either. But that's okay, because the important thing is spending time with family. It really doesn't need to be on Christmas weekend. Hi, Shauna. Now, I took my time and was very careful when I cut this mesh. And now as I go to woodland ruffle it, it's crooked as you know what. I don't know what I did. It'll be okay though. We'll hide the uneven edges on the inside there. That's right. They won't know. Now, I am gonna tattle on myself. I am using a wreath frame that already had the ties on it. I don't know how long it's been hanging over there with the ties already on it, and they're a little bit loose. But when you put the mesh in them and tighten them down, they will be just fine. And I can see already that we're going to have issues. We're going to move some stuff over out of the way here. As big as this table is, it could stand to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's hard to tell if she's watching, Richard. How you doing, buddy? Hi, Joan. Glad you could join me. So, like I said, we're doing an 8-inch Dollar Tree frame. And then we're using 10-inch mesh that is cut to 20 inches. And there are 10 ties. What did that come out wonky? 5 on the outside, 5 on the inside. Oh, hi, Debbie. I'm good, Richard. Like I said earlier, we did our Christmas dinner with the grandkids and all the kids on Sunday, the day after Christmas, due to logistics and other issues with trying to get all the grandkids here. Then I had to go back to work today, so yeah, it kind of sucked. It is what it is. So we had events planned for all 3 days of Christmas weekend. We had a get together with, I was going to call them friends, but you know what? They're pretty much family. We went we went to John and Becky's house. Becky's on here every once in a while. Used to work with Jeanette. Now she's got the same job that Jeanette had in Jeanette's old store. And we went out there for Christmas Eve and had some fun and games, had some really good food, good company, couple beverages, nothing too major, but we had a blast because they've always got a bunch of games. So that's what we did out there. Hi, Dawn. Well, I'll tell you what, Reba, our table is big enough. It just gets kind of cramped when you try to make everybody sit at it. So we just let the grandkids sit at the table, then let the adults sit wherever. Of course, we do have, um, I keep wanting to say 10, but Jeanette's youngest son has a girlfriend that has a baby. So we are up to 11, sort of, kind of. We had one set of parents that couldn't be here because they had to work Christmas Day. We did have one grandson that couldn't be here Christmas. He was homesick, which kind of bummed us out because Jeanette likes to make sure she gets. That's usually the only time during the year that she can get all of the grandkids together. So she likes to take a group picture. So we're gonna try to figure out a way to Photoshop him in. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but we're gonna try it. The kids all had fun opening presents, and we had fun cleaning up the mess afterwards. Typical Christmas stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you, Deanne, we get any more people at our house for Christmas dinner, it is gonna be a bring your own chair event. I mean, we've got a bunch of folding chairs. It's just there's not room around the table to put everything. And of course, we had our taco bar, which is what we have every year. What am I doing here? All right, we're good. Thought I'd screwed up already. Well, Richard, we actually cleaned our table off, put both leaves back in it that we don't normally keep in it. It sits, it'll 6'8" comfortably. We really don't have room for a bigger table where we would probably have one. But you know how that goes. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to read comments, and we keep saying we're going to move the TV because it's over to the side, which means to read comments, you have to look away from what you're doing over that way. And if we mount it right ahead of us, you really wouldn't even have to look away from your project. So I think we're going to work on that. We're going to work on a different camera view. Well, at least we were. I don't know if we're still going to. Working on some stuff. So Jeanette was supposed to do the live tonight, and then she had an epiphany last night, right before she went to bed. She's like, "Oh, I have to work tomorrow. I have to close." So here I am. That's all right. I don't mind doing it though. No, Richard. The camera is like right in front of me, and there's about, I don't know, 3.5 foot of space back behind it. It's just that's where Jeanette's got her pegboard, so she's going to have to lose some of her wreath frame storage if we move the TV over there. I don't know if we've actually decided what we're going to do just yet. We will figure something out. We are going to change it up a little bit. What exactly we're going to do, still up in the air. What won't happen? Her losing wreath frame storage? She actually wants the TV over there, so if it was my idea, no, you're right, it wouldn't happen. It's her idea. She will probably, I mean, we can make more room somewhere else. Not where the TV is now, though, because it's in front of a window. How does that get so crooked? I swear, guys, I was real careful cutting my mesh, making sure that it got cut straight. I don't know what happened. It's just a hot mess right now. Seems like the harder I try to keep it straight, the more crooked it gets. Hi, Bianca. Yeah, I don't touch anything in this room without her say so. This is her room. I don't. She of course knows I'm in here doing the live, and she didn't pick any ribbon or mesh for me this time. I had to pick it all by myself, and I did send her a picture to let her know what I was using, so she's all good with that. So this will be our last set of woodland ruffles on the outside. And then we'll go to the inside. Like I said, we're using 10-inch mesh cut to 20 inches. Because the last time I did a pixie wreath, I had to do my old trick of turning every other one sideways, because Jeanette had me cut the ruffles at 25 inches, and that was just a lot of mesh. So we cut back the amount of mesh just a little bit this time. Thank you, Dawn. No, Jacqueline, no Wheel of Jeanette tonight, because it's a little rough to try to do that by yourself. So we will make tonight's Wheel of Jeanette up at some point. Hi, Lynn. Yeah, Richard, Jeanette likes extra full wreaths, so she always goes for longer cuts of mesh. All right, guys, so there we are. We got our outside done. So now we're going to move on to the inside, doing the same thing. Hi, other Maureen. How are you doing tonight? I agree, Richard. But you know how Ned is with her big poofy wreaths. That's why she doesn't make pixie wreaths very often. She saves that for me to do. I am really struggling with this crooked mesh tonight for some reason. Good Lord. Craziness, I tell you. But I always like to give credit where credit is due. So a lot of you that have watched us for a while know I do a lot of pixie wreaths. And I will give credit to Katie from Crazy Maisie Creations LLC. She is the one that came up with this idea, and I really like it. Obviously, that's why I do a lot of them, but you know. Well, I like that too, Richard, to a certain point. I'm just saying. All right. Yeah, but I don't see how it would have stretched, Richard. I cut it and let it roll. I cut them. I cut them both together, and I just let them roll up, and I set them down. That's all I did. I don't know. I'll figure it out one of these days. Probably not. I was joking with Jeanette one day. I said, I'm out of practice. I need to start doing more lives and making more wreaths. That's one of those be careful what you wish for moments. Because here I am again. Yeah, I don't understand what happened, Reba. I really don't, because I mean I come up here like an hour before the live and had the mesh all laid out nice and straight and cut, and I go to roll it up to put it in the mesh, and it's just all crooked as heck. Oh, absolutely, Richard. That's all right. I don't mind doing lives. She keeps telling me I need to broaden my horizon. I'm like, why? I like my pixie wreath and my Floyd bow that she doesn't really care for, but I like it. So she get over it. That, and I think I tie my ties too tight whenever I tighten them down. Oh no, 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 Richard, mine go in the shop. Unless it's one of those experiment thingies that went horribly wrong. We've had a couple of those where I decided I wanted to try something outside of my comfort zone, and it didn't turn out quite right. Then I have Jeanette fix them, and then we put them in the shop. My pixies actually sell fairly well here locally. Um, the flower wreaths, I don't. I think we've only sold one. People here locally just aren't into the flower wreaths. I guess I don't know. I've made several and put them in the shop, and they sat there till they were out of season and we had to move on. Pixies, I think the pixies go over so well here because they're at a lower price point. We live in an area where there are a ton of other wreath makers, and there are several ladies in our area that sell wreaths for 20, 25, 30 bucks. Now, the pixies with the mesh I use, yes, we can compete with that price point. Jeanette's big wreaths that she makes, we can't sell that for 30 bucks because most of them she's got more than that in it. The craft show that we do twice a year, the bigger, higher price wreaths sell really well locally. So I don't know why they don't. I mean, they sell online. They just don't sell locally in the shops. I mean, we sell some. Don't get me wrong. Oh, here we go. All right, we got 2 more to put on there, and then we're going to do our ribbon tails. Well, I know the one lady, Richard, that does wreaths locally. She uses pretty much all Dollar Tree stuff, so she is making a little bit of money. But I personally, because Jeanette started out making wreaths with like mesh from Joann's and Dollar Tree and stuff like that. And I mean, they were nice because I didn't have anything to compare them to. Now that she's started buying the better quality ribbon and mesh, the wreaths are way nicer, but you have to charge more for them. You have to. And that's okay. Some people just want cheap even if it doesn't look as nice, and that's okay. We do have a couple of ritzier neighborhoods that buy the nicer ones. So I mean, it's all good. The one lady in particular, I would like to just get a hold of her and have a little pep talk with her. Her husband bought a CNC machine, and then she decided she was going to start selling cutout signs. There's a few people here locally that have CNC machines, not that do like wreath signs or anything like that, but she sells the stuff that they make on the CNC for $15, $20. I'm like, you can't be making any money with that. Reba, we are in a little town called New Philadelphia, Ohio. The best way to tell you where we are at is to have you get a map or look at a map and look where Cleveland, Columbus, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania all sit. And we are smack dab in the middle. We really haven't tried expanding local sales up north, but I think there's even more wreath makers up there. I'd have to verify that, but there are a lot of people in our area. Mesh down. Um, Richard, I don't know about your local area. We have a very artsy community, and there are a lot of shops downtown. There's a used bookstore. There's a We have a local artist. I forget even what it's called, but there's a group of photographers and painters and other traditional artists that have like I'd call it a co-op, I guess. And then they have their own store. Hi, Monica. And then we have a ceramics place that holds classes, and the two shops. Well, one of the shops that we are in is actually a farmer's market. So we do a lot of animal and farm related wreaths for in there. The other one's just an artsy craftsy place. Jacksonville, Arkansas. Yes, Richard. If you put the two towns, we have kind of like a twin cities thing going on here. If you put both towns together, maybe 50,000, maybe. Oh, well, thank you, Richard. I even picked them out all by myself. All right, guys, this is our last set of woodland ruffles here. If I can get them down in here, I'm snagging them up too bad. Come on, get down in there. Get this down in here and get it tied off, and then we'll do some rearranging. There we go. Out. All right. All right, I think that'll do her. Maybe. All right, I cut enough. I did it again. I cut enough ribbon tails to do all 10 ties, but we're going to put the ones on the outside and see how it looks. So for ribbon tonight for the tails, I used a black, green, and white diagonal with a solid green. And for the other set of tails, I used a 2.5-inch solid green. I'm not quite sure what they call this, but it's kind of like a stripe pattern with dots inside of it. I thought looked pretty cool, so we're going to throw that in there as well. We're going to get our snips out, cut our pipe cleaners as we go. I'm not going to do like I did last time and have to dig back through the mesh to cut pipe cleaners last time. So I just scrunch mine up in the middle and then make them look like a little birdie, then fold them into a V. And then maybe we're going to put this down in here. Not cooperating. There we go. Get this tied down in there. And me and Jeanette like to tell everybody, don't cut your ties completely off in case you discover at some point that you have made a boo-boo. And then you can get them back. You can untie. You leave enough room to untie them so that you can fix it. Let me get caught up on some comments. Oh, dispatch trucks for a long time. I used to drive truck a long time ago. Debbie, yes, we rent space in two of the local shops. They're both owned by the same husband and wife team, and then run by her sister and her daughter. So I mean, it's a family thing, and there's two shops. They're fairly close to each other. We were in a third one. We were not a good fit there. It was mostly repurposed furniture, or as I like to call it, painted antiques. um, and I'm glad we pulled out when we did, because they did wind up going out of business. Richard, I'm going 5-5. You must live in a smaller town than we live in. I can give you. Do you have any beauty salons, Debbie? Is it called a polka dot stripe? I don't know, Richard. I'm not up on all these technical crafting terms like Jeanette is. Don't make fun of me, buddy. Now we don't do it, but I have chatted with people that kind of kick a commission to the hairdresser to allow them to put um, wreaths in their hair salon. Um, we do have a coffee shop that a lot of people like to hang out at. There are no wreaths in it, but there are like paintings and other local artists that have their stuff. Photographers. We have a lot of photographers in our area for some reason too, which I guess if you're getting married makes it nice, because you can get some really good photographers at a really reasonable price. And I think I skipped a tie. I did not. I didn't move that one where it needed to be before I tightened it down. It's all right. We'll be okay. Well, hi Tracy. Happy birthday. Hey everybody, it's Tracy's birthday. Make sure everybody says hi and happy birthday to her. She's probably going to be mad at me now. Um, the way the shop works, Debbie, is they're only open like, oh, I don't remember what their hours are. They're only open like 5-6 hours a day. I think 5 days a week. And they actually have a cashier to ring stuff out. The one shop there's over 70 people in there. So they take care of the space, they take care of the transactions, they have security to try to keep people from stealing some of the smaller stuff. So that's why they get their rent money. They sell the stuff for us. We don't have to be there to sell it. Our job is to keep the space full. Yeah, that's exactly right. One more trip around the sun there, Tracy. Actually, all of the shops that we have been in are set up like that. Even the antique, the repurposed antique shop was like that. They ran it. We just rented space there. They took care of all the sales, and then we collected our check at the after the end of each month, and then paid our rent, and they took care of everything else. Yeah, we pay our rent on the first. The space rent is due on the first of the month, and then we get our checks for our goods like the 4th or the 5th. The one place we were in the place that is now out of business, what they wanted us to do was they would just subtract what we sold that month off of the rent payment. I really didn't care for that because that is a bookkeeping nightmare. Made things really hard. But that's not the main reason that we pulled out of that shop. We just weren't doing well there because it was not a arts and crafts shop. They had some other stuff in there too, but it was mostly repurposed antiques. All right, let me get a drink, guys. One place is the farmer's market is it started out at 45, and then they decided to cut their hours back a little bit, so they lowered it to 40. And the other art place is 35, I believe. The issue that we have is the wreaths are really big and the space is small. So we really can't get a whole lot of wreaths in our spot. That will be remedied during the off season at the farmer's market because we are moving to a much larger space. We are not able to do that at the other place yet. We're hoping to at some point, just not yet. I'm going to go ahead and put all these ribbon tails in that I already cut, just because I can. I know there's been some discussion among other people about it takes away from the bow. You're wasting ribbon because you can't see it due to the sign, this, that, and the other. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and put all these in there because I always do that. I always wind up cutting them. Well, there's Jeanette on Facebook. Oh my, Debbie, that's crazy. 60%. Now, I don't know what happened to everybody because the comments were visible on. We have the chat overlay set up so that people on YouTube can see the Facebook comments and the people on Facebook can see the YouTube comments. And it was working when we started, but for some reason it quit. Technical difficulties earlier, and I thought they had all worked themselves out, but apparently not. Been a little busy today, baby. I'm sure it tis the season of Christmas returns. And I'm gonna give a local news report to my wife. I broke it. I may have, Tracy. I may have. Jeanette, did you hear about the big drug bust at the local Rural King here in Philly? Richard says to tell you hi since you can't see his comments. Our local police department made a really large drug bust on Christmas Eve. I don't remember the only specific that I remember. There was a bunch of cash. There was cocaine involved as well, but the big bust was over 300 grams of crystal meth. And they arrested 3 people. 2 from here locally and 1 from where Jeanette's at down in Coshocton. Imagine that, Jeanette. But okay, enough about drugs. I didn't know if Jeanette had heard about it, so I wanted to make sure she knew. Oh, what did I do? Uh, oh, it'll be the really bad part, Richard, was they did it. They did it on Christmas Eve. I mean, you don't have better things to be doing on Christmas Eve than out making drug deals. I mean, come on now. I was joking at work that if any of them had a significant other, I bet they're in big trouble with them. Of course, they're in big trouble legally. I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but that is quite a substantial amount of product, we'll call it. They are definitely going to be getting hit with trafficking charges, which in Ohio, yeah, that's a really bad thing. Sucks to be them. I don't know, Patty. Um, the the local news agency didn't give any names or anything yet. Tracy says maybe they were planning a company Christmas party. I don't know, but it must have been a big party. I'm sure in the coming days there'll be more details come out. They haven't released any of the names yet. They normally do in the local newspaper. They like to, when people get in trouble for stuff, they like to put their names in there. So I'm sure the names will be released in any further details on whether it was employees of Rural King or not. Oh, that's horrible, Debbie. Boy, Tracy, you're just full of zingers today, aren't you? For those of you on YouTube that can't read Tracy's comments, she said this time that could have been their Christmas bonuses. You must be having a really good birthday because you're just full of zingers today. All right, that was our last set of ribbon tails. Get these pipe cleaners snipped off and tucked over. And then we're going to try to put our sign on. So I like how this looks. Pretty full. I like all the ribbon tails. Now I'm going to cover them up with the sign in the bow. Well, I don't know why I got thirsty all of a sudden. I'm just going to move my drink out closer, I guess. Oh, absolutely, I miss you. Oh, I guess I could move this out of the way and do this over here. So now I'm going to put our pipe cleaners on our sign. Put one on each corner. I am glad to hear that you are having a great birthday. Everybody. Yeah. Ooh, dead body. Exactly. Thank you, Debbie. Everybody deserves to have a great day on their birthday. I don't think Jeanette stayed on here very long. I figured she'd be busy at work today because she got out of working yesterday because, well, Walmart's closed on Christmas Day. So I'm assuming it's probably that way everywhere. But here locally, the day that they open back up after Christmas, it is a madhouse. People going in to spend their Walmart gift cards that they got for Christmas, people returning things, yada, yada, yada. You know what? I should have made that on a 6-inch sign. Oh, well, it'd be all right. Because the sign's really big. All right, we're just going to go for it. And this is where I have been struggling lately. And I'm not quite sure what happened. I used to be really good at this, but not so much anymore. Oh, I had it, and then I lost it. Don't even say it, Tracy. Oh, I know. I'm not quite sure what she did with it, Patty. I mean, I know it's around here somewhere, but we'll manage. Yeah, I say that now. Yeah, I say that now, and then we shall see. All right, that might be a little bit too much of an angle. Take it down to this way. What in the world did I do? Get over there. The struggle is real. Well, for me anyway. Yeah, I know Patty Jeanette's got one. I don't know what she did with it. Yeah, that's good. She uses it all the time, and I don't normally have to. I don't normally have it. I don't normally have these issues. Today, however, I seem to be having these issues. All right, we'll get it. We'll get her. No, we have some, Patty. I don't know what she did with it. Oh, I just found it. Now that I'm done with the third one. Oh, thank you, Tracy. For those of you that can't, well, I'll just go ahead and say it for the people on YouTube that can't. Tracy says nothing new. Floyd is a struggle. That is the Tracy that I know and love. I don't know, Tracy. You better watch out. I got a newly adopted big sister that would probably take your side, I'm sure. All right, we got it. I didn't actually have to wind up breaking out the needle. I did find them though, in case I needed it for this one. Now, I don't know how many of you can see what I'm doing back on the backside here. Jeanette taught me that when you're wrapping your pipe cleaners to go ahead and take and wrap them around other things as well so that they don't come loose and slide. See, and this is exactly what we're talking about when you put the ribbon tails all the way around on the inside. A lot of it gets covered up, but we're going to try to fix that. You got just a little tiny bit peeking out down here, a little tiny bit peeking out over there. It's all good. Tracy, I absolutely miss you when you're not here. All right, guys, I think I could almost get away with not putting a bow on this. Almost. All right, so there's something popped up on my screen, kind of weird. So here's what we got. Oh, move it down here so you can see everything, I guess. Depending on where I put the bow, you could turn this a lot of different ways. We're going to make a small Floyd bow and put right about here, I think. We'll see once I get it made. And for those of you that don't have a mesh roller, let me tell you, it is amazing for unrolling mesh and holding your ribbon and all that good stuff. This thing is amazing. All right, we are going. So for my Floyd bow, I think we're going to stick with something short. Doesn't need to be a very big bow at all. I think. Oh. 12. I'm thinking. Don't do it, Tracy. Don't do it. We're going to go with 24. So guess what I did, guys? I pulled the pin out of the ribbon. Oh, found it. I was kind of worried there for a minute. So we're going to cut 5 pieces of ribbon, all at 24 inches. For those of you that don't know what a Floyd bow is, you are about to be enlightened. Yeah, I almost thought about skipping the bow, Tracy, but I think we are going to go ahead and just put no, I bent that pin. Now it's not going to go into that ribbon. No, we're going to leave it there. So because of the fact that we're going to go with a small bow, I think we're only going to put 4 ribbons in it. I don't think we're going to go with all 5. Because it does really need to be small. What in the world is going on here? There we go. The only thing about the mesh roller, 50-yard rolls do not sit well on it. Oh, that, and it's up against the camera too. Oops. It'll all be good. All right, we're going to get us a 24-inch piece of this black right here. All right. Get the handy dandy Easy Bow Maker out. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Dawn. Reba, what Jeanette does with hers is, I know a lot of people use umbrella bags. You can buy those on Amazon pretty cheap. What Jeanette does is she wraps them. See if I can find one real quick. What Jeanette does with them is she wraps them in saran wrap. It only takes a second to wrap them up, and then, like you said, they don't stick together. So for my bow, we are going to make a very simple, very quick, really quick and simple bow. We're only going to use 4 ribbons. When I make my bows, this is how I do it. I just adapted what others call a funky bow. I put my own twist in it. So we have our 4 ribbons cut to 24 inches. And I already got them dovetailed. So I think we're going to start with the diagonal. And I'm going to start off with a 6-inch tail. Oh, that didn't work. Redo. Twist it good. And then for this bottom one, we are going to go ahead and do a 6-inch loop. So that is how we're going to start our Floyd bow. Then we're going to do the striped polka dot next. So I'm going to take that out to a 6.5 inch. Already starting off backwards. I do that from time to time. Give that a twist. And on this one, we're only going to do a 5-inch loop. And what you're going to notice, because of the way I did this, your tails are not going to be the same length. All right. So there's our first 2. Now we're going to go, if the mesh would quit grabbing everything. And then we're going to go back to a 6-inch tail on the 2.5 solid green. Get that a twist. Stick that down in there. And we're going to go back to a 6-inch loop on this one as well. So and I do it different every time I do one. That's just, I like to be a pain in the butt. I know Deco Exchange sells the umbrella bags. I know there's other resupply places that sell them. You can get them on Amazon pretty reasonable. So I mean they're easy to come by. All right, we're just gonna go with another 6.5-inch tail on this one too. And go right back to the 5-inch loop. All right, so there we go. Now we have all of our, and that's all we're going to do. We're just going to use these 4 ribbons. It does need to be a smaller bow on this. All right, so I got my pipe cleaner, got my zip tie. Well, that was almost bad. Almost. Get that smushed down in there. All right. So now you want to make sure that you get your zip tie, if you use zip ties, over on the crease where the dowel rods were. I'll tighten that up just a little bit more, and then put my pipe cleaner in there. Make sure the pipe cleaner is down on the bottom. I tighten it up just a little bit more so that it's not going to go everywhere when you let go. But you don't want to tighten it just yet. You want to go around and make sure that your ribbon is not twisted. I had a twist in that one. I think I got a twist in this bottom over here too. All right, that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to go ahead and crank down on this. Make sure my pipe cleaner is where I need it to be. And then we're just going to start fluffing. Because now that the pipe cleaner is tight, you can really yank on these and it's not going to go anywhere. Let's see, which way do I want to take that one? And then what Jeanette does, and I followed suit, is we don't cut the pipe cleaner or the zip tie off until you're done. Handle for fluffing your bow. All right, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time fluffing this now because it's just going to get messed up again when I put it back, when I put it in the wreath. So now I will go in and not pull a Jeanette, cut the zip tie. You know what? All right, that's good. Because the other day Jeanette did this and she cut her pipe cleaner off. All right, now we can cut that off and throw it away. And that leaves us with Dumb thing's still got a little bit of a twist in it down there. We'll be all right. Like I said, I'll mess with it some more once I get it. Once I get it in the wreath. I had the spot picked out where I was going to put that right here. So here again, this is another spot that you could use the needle to run the pipe cleaners down through if you so chose to do so. Me, I like making things hard on myself. So we're just going to take that one down through there. We're going to run this one through here and meet up in the back. Now this is another one of the things you don't want to make your sign or your bow too tight, because you don't want it to look like it's sinking down into the wreath. I think that's going to be pretty good. So, and ideally you want to wrap that around multiple bars and a cross member if you can, to make sure that it's not going to slide around and move anywhere. Like I said, you don't want that real tight. It'll suck it down in there. All right, so I think that's going to be good. Get the bow maker out of the way, put the tools away real quick. And then we'll flip this bad boy over and do some final fluffing. And I'm really glad that was off camera. I literally just stabbed my hand with a bamboo skewer. Why in God's name Jeanette puts those points up, I don't know. All right, so now we're going to fix our bow and our ribbon tails. I'm going to move these down so they're not quite on the sign. That one got flipped over. That got flipped over. You're on your way home. Well, it didn't draw blood this time. All right, guys, I'm just going to give this a quick once over. I'm not going to do a whole lot to it. There's no wording on the sign, so if the ribbon covers the sign a little bit, it's not a big deal. You don't want it to cover too much of your sign. And because of how tight I pull my pipe cleaners or zip ties when I put it on when I make my bow, you can't see. Well, I mean, if you pull on it and pull it to the side, you can, but you really can't tell that where the zip tie is. This black ribbon on top must have shifted sideways when I was tightening that zip tie up, so it's like a little off the top. This still looks okay. All right, let me switch cameras here real quick. Maybe. All right, there we go. All right, guys, and figure out which way's which. There we go. Going every which way here. Go back there and fix those. And I'm still not holding that right. There we go. So just a little bit of black on the top to pull out the color in the sign. And there we go. Oh, look, now the comments are back up again. That's really weird. And I just figured out what I did wrong. Well, thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Debbie. Like I said, that sign is available in our shop. It's actually one from last year. That it's just a simple shamrock on a buffalo plaid background with a green border. I've always liked this sign since she made it, and we sell a lot of them this time of year. I'm gonna have to go through and trim some of this mesh. It got a little out of control, but we'll see what the boss thinks when she gets home. She can go through it and trim it up and put a hanger on it and be good to go. All right, guys. Thank you for stopping in and joining me. Well, Richard, when they say it's a pixie wreath, it's supposed to be so small. They're actually pretty decent size because this turned out 19 by 19. So I mean, it's still a decent sized wreath. Um, for those of you that don't know the story, Katie from Crazy Maisie Creations LLC started making these because they're a little bit smaller, and she wanted a slightly smaller wreath to take to the nursing home for her father. And I really like them. I personally think they're an awesome size. They're not too big, but they're not real small either. I mean, they'd be good for people with smaller rooms or college dorms or the nursing homes, that type of thing. Oh, you're welcome, Debbie. Exactly, Patty. Simplicity. I mean, it's all green, black, and white. Nothing overly fancy, but it still turned out super cute. All right, thanks, guys. I'm going to get off here and go wait for my wife to come strolling through the door. I will. I'm not sure what's going on Wednesday because Jeanette has to work again. So I'm not sure what's going to go on Wednesday, but I will post something on the page and let everybody know. No, Richard, it's an 8-inch Dollar Tree frame. It's just the little 8-inch frame is what we use on these. All right, guys. If you have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to email us or text us. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to do the word of the day. It's a good thing I said the word text. All right. So to get in on the drawing, because the end of the month is coming up really quick. This gives you one more chance to get in. Text the word Shamrock to the number scrolling across the bottom of the screen. That's our texting app number. And you guys can feel free to email us, text us, contact us through Facebook, the Facebook page. Yes, Patty, and they sell these frames in packs of 2 for $1. So the frames are only 50 cents. Good night, Reba. Thanks for joining me. I keep turning this thing and it gets all out of whack. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here and go wait on Jeanette. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and I'm not sure exactly what we're doing Wednesday, but I'll probably see you Wednesday. All right, thanks all. Have a great night. Well, that is if I can find my mouse cursor to click the end broadcast button. Well, I'll tell you what, modern technology, I swear. All right.